All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. All right, Jason, would you like to go ahead and do your portion of the hearing in the audience first?
I sure can. Yeah. Thank you. Good to see everybody again. For the record, I'm Jason Hoskinson, engineer with BG Consultants. And I dropped one of these at the back of everybody's agenda packet. That'll be behind your packet there. Just kind of want to so I get to kind of walk through where we're at with the wastewater sewer system project, give you an update on that, kind of give you an outline of where we're headed in the next month or two, and yeah, see if you have any questions. I did bring some small sets of plans, kind of where they're at right now. Some through if you would like at some point. But yeah, so just to kind of go through this list here, I'm going to highlight some of the things on the bullet points here. I'm not going to read every single thing. This scope of work kind of goes back to almost 2016 when we did an initial report and then searched for funding for design and construction. Design came through last year with the Kansas Water Office with the 100% grant. And so we're proceeding forward with planning and design documents that will ultimately be given to you to where when you have construction funding identified, you can go bid and build the projects. So I'm going to say about 75% through the design phase. It includes, you can see here, there's a number of quite a few manholes, almost 3 miles of sewer main that's in not great condition. We've got improvements, and you can see some of it identified in there, but anything from point replacements where maybe there's just one spot in the line that's bad, to full pipe replacement, to pipe lining, trying to address the whole system and try to deal with some problems. I'm going to flip to the next 2 pages if you want to look at some nasty pictures. This is just a few snapshots of what we've been finding as we go through the videos and reviews and whatnot. You can see old clay pipe. Some of them the pipe is missing. What you're looking at there on the top is dirt. The pipe has actually collapsed.
Are these from 2017?
I think so. Yeah, they're the older ones.
And then what street? It says Julia Street on the top. We don't have that. Yeah, it's not on our street.
It would have been probably an old platted. It might be changed. I'd have to look back at the map that they
street would be good, but not Julia.
But yeah, but yeah, you can see a number of these where they're cracked or broken. Some with just roots and stuff coming into it, but we're finding a lot of that throughout the town, and that's what we've been designing and addressing into the plans there. Going down through our lists, our tasks completed to date. We've completed all the review. We've got roughly half the site survey complete. You've probably seen our guys up here recently. They'll be back here for about another month or so, wrapping up all the field work that we need on our design side to finish our design. Some of the work that we do requires survey, some of it doesn't. We've been doing all the stuff that doesn't. Well, January and February was when we were anticipating being here, and it snowed a lot, and so it's kind of slowed down our survey backlog, and we're trying to catch up from that. But we've got some lift station recommendations. We've met with Jeff and worked through some things when he was here on the lift station improvements, and worked through some budgeting and some geotechnical requests. I'm going to get to the geotech in just a moment. Jump to the next one, the current budget. The preliminary budget back in 2023, when we were first looking for grant dollars, we were anticipating about 2.7 million, 2.65, 2.7 million for construction phase. Where we're at now, we're anticipating with a little bit of inflation and some contingency is probably closer to 3 million, which that's going to come into play when we talk about the next phase of grant applications. And then the last item I mentioned there is, yeah, over the next month or so, you'll see some more survey progress around town. We'll be working forward from there. Um, so I'm going to jump now to the two council action items. The geotech, I mentioned that. Uh, we're going to be replacing the main lift station. Right now, pretty much everything from the highway south drains that way to a main lift station, and then pump back over the highway and drains down to your lagoons. And that lift station was just an old brick manhole from a long time ago. It's not very well sized for what it's intended to be doing. And so we're looking at installing a much larger and deeper structure at that location with better pumps that um, all pumps will go bad and fail to clog, but these are less likely to compared to what you have. The system you have probably used up its service life, and you've seen there's been some pumps that have gone bad here recently. So this would replace all of that. But as part of that, we need for the contractors to accurately price what the work would be. We need to get some geotechnical exploration there, some geology bores where they come out and bore down. We've requested proposals from different uh, geologists that we work with in the past, and I've included or given, I guess, the mayor and I gave Pat a copy as well. Alpha Omega Geotech provided a low price of $4,000 to do the report, the geology in the report. With a condition, if they hit rock, it would be, I think, $47 a foot to try to core into the rock. But we'd recommend that the council move forward with Alpha Omega to do the geology at the lift station.
Just so I understand, what do they actually, why is it important for them to come out and do that?
Okay, well, a few things. They're gonna identify what soils are out there that we're gonna have to be digging through and putting this large structure under the ground or in the ground. So it'll help with understanding what the bearing could be of the size of that structure and how we design that structure. It'll also impact, I mean, obviously if there's rock, that could be a significant cost for the contractor to dig out. So it identifies that up front so they know what they're digging into. And then it also helps us with some design parameters so we can make sure the thing doesn't float up out of the ground, basically. If you get groundwater, these are usually down in the bottom, right? All the sewage flows down to the low spot. So water saturating the soils around there. If it's not designed properly, it could become buoyant and actually come out of the ground. That would not be good. So this will provide us a design parameter so we can avoid all of that with the design. But I've included that proposal. Like I said, the mayor's got a couple copies. You're welcome to consider it tonight if that's the direction the council wants to pursue, or if you want to look at it a little closer and consider it your next meeting, that I'm sure would be fine with them as well. It's not a super time crunch issue, but the sooner the better for us to finish up our work. And then the other item isn't necessarily a action item tonight, but just kind of a heads up that we are on track to be pretty much done with our services here this summer. When we're anticipating another round of grant application, call for projects to come out. And so hoping that puts you in a good spot where we can work with you to consider applying for construction dollars. See if we can make that happen.
I just think like these pictures that they were from 2017.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Looks
What does it look like now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they haven't fixed themselves. So it's probably only gotten worse. And those are just, like I said, a few snapshots. Yeah, the Julia Street, I could get in some information from a map that we had and tell you which one that is. I don't know if it was renamed or it was probably from an old plat that we had that was provided to them when the system was put in the 60s. So.
Do you have any experience with the grant process and is there an increased likelihood that we would be awarded a construction grant since we were awarded a planning grant?
Well, the Kansas Water Office grant that you guys got has only been out for a couple of years. I think there's 3 more application rounds left. There have been some communities that got construction funding this second round that got the design funding in the first round. So I would like to think, yes, it puts the city in a lot better position. I
There's
can't
no
guarantee it,
guarantee.
though. It's
Yeah,
still,
like,
it's
like
still up to the application.
We'd all like to think that too.
Process.
Just wondering if
Is that a 50-50 grant or is it 100%?
It, well, we'll have to see what it comes out as. I think
They
it's been
haven't.
100% in the past, but I don't. I'd have to look back at this past round to see if they've been capping those or if they've been favoring like 2 million or less or something like that. And if that's the case, we can then talk about that, and there could be a way to do 2/3 of the project.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe we have to do it all.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if you could do it all at once.
Yeah.
The economy of scale going for you, but if the dollars don't work, then you can do 2/3 of it. That's still a big project and great for and making progress. Because again, this is the I'll call it the second half of the project because the first half was done about 20, 30 years ago. Maybe there was some lining around town. So a lot of the lines have been addressed now. They'll deteriorate over time, but hopefully not to the extent you've got with these brittle clay pipe.
How much of it do you think is on the east side? And then how much, I mean, the south or wherever the station.
South and north?
Yeah, how much, what is the percentage of what flows into it? What's the percentage breakdown on that? Do you have an idea on that?
I don't have the exact number off the top of my head. I was thinking we had a map. Yeah, I don't.
Livingston and about
I was going to say about 2/3 of your town, the system is draining to that main lift station.
Main one.
Yeah, and then the other third is the highway, just drains by gravity down to the plant, right into the plant.
We can't get it all done. We might be able to get that. 2/3.
Yeah, well,
Vote on the geo tech stuff tonight? Or that's fine.
have you had a chance to look over that?
Well, just a cursory review of it. I mean, we have this come up with every bridge that the county's done, and so it looks to be about the same as the contracts that they have, but I haven't. It's been a pretty cursory review. It's 5 minutes before the meeting.
Right.
So. But you're relying on the recommendation of the professionals that you've hired to put it together. So I wouldn't have any real hesitancy in accepting.
one thing I will also mention about that is an eligible cost under the grant, and I don't think well, the grant that we requested had enough to cover geology, so it would be an expense covered by the grant that you could get reimbursed.
Even better.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess I feel like you
Anytime
need
you
to
can be reimbursed, you're good.
Yeah, yeah. So do you want a motion?
If you, yeah, I mean, if I'm
We want to approve it. We have to make an motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the geotech contract for approval for the lift station E.
We'll second it.
all in favor,
Right.
any opposed?
Do we need to put a price on it? Did you give us a? Well,
It's in the contract.
Yeah, there is.
fine.
Yeah,
so we're just approving that contract, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
yeah, it was $4,000 plus, I believe it's $47 a foot if they hit rock. So it's kind of one of those.
Yeah.
If they hit it, there could be. It may be a little bit more than that. But typically, when they hit rock, they'll only try to go a few feet, and that's it.
Yeah. Good. What's the
It says a
plan?
minimum of 705. Okay,
Sounds good. Anything else?
Yeah, that's all I have. I'm happy to answer any other questions. I hope that helps uh, clear up kind of where we're at right now, where we're headed.
I was wondering because I see all the flags in the yard still in some places. And I'm like, well, what's the status on that?
Yeah.
So it's good to hear it.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
We can keep these.
Sorry?
Can we keep these?
Yes, yeah, you can keep those and, of course, check, I think I typically have the contact information on that handout.
I thought it was at right at the top.
It's on the bottom.
On the
If you have a
bottom.
phone number.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I usually put my cell phone. You can call that line, and get a hold of me if you have any questions.
I just didn't know what else you wanted.
Oh,
All that out?
I could fill that out for you if you want. Yeah, I'll add in.
I assumed like that's where I needed to sign
Yep,
since
that's what we.
that signature there.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I just
I was like,
sign your face in there, but yes, sign there.
when I was looking at it, kind of like,
The rest of it's just basically city address and city name. So I could do that and then I'll scan and email it to you as well. So you guys all have a record of that.
okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Those are the seats.
Hi, Katie. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Good. Most of you know me, I'm Katie Wilburn. I will be managing the pool this summer. I did print out a handout, just a few things, just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys. So as of right now, we have 6 full-time certified guards and 1 part-time. We have 1 pool house help. So things should be running pretty smoothly. We'll be able to be open 7 days a week. Hours will just be noon to 6. And then we will be having some pool parties and different things, water aerobics and that. I kind of wanted to reach out about returning guard pay. I know at some point, I think Adam had shown me the printout, but it hadn't. If you can email that to me just so that I can relay that to the girls.
It's essentially like 50 cents more than for every year that they've been here. So like if this is their 3rd year. If your first year was 9, second was 9.50, 3rd year should be 10.
Okay.
The only question I had is the returning pool house help. Because we don't have a returning pool house when you guys made the motion, just pool house makes this much.
I thought we increased them as well.
We did.
Returning
We did increase that.
50 cents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or returning, okay.
Yes.
I think everyone returning.
We only have 2 new guards. Everybody else is returning. So
Are they all returning for the same amount of time, or are there some that like this is their 2nd return? You know, off the top of your head.
they're all returning the same. So Regan, Kenna, Evie.
Evie is 2nd year, isn't she? Because she just got certified last year.
Oh yes. Okay, so she's 2nd year.
Is that the one that's going to be part-time? Okay.
Yeah. And it's really just kind of as needed because she's working full time at the school. So it's kind of like pool parties or weekends if we needed coverage to fill days off for other people. Tori Mace was approved as assistant manager, and I think you had talked about her salary hadn't been approved yet, and she had questioned
That's
me about
like
it.
set by you guys, and so I just gave like an idea of what it's normally $1 less than what the manager makes.
So
But I told her it would be approved by you guys.
I wrote down Katie at 15,
Uh-huh.
the head guard at 12,
Yeah.
and then like the new ones at 9. Mackenzie Owens and Ava Spear are returning. Yes. So they would be 9.50. And Regan is returning. Is Regan returning? This her 3rd year? Yes.
Yes, because we need to recertify.
So she was at 10. Okay. And then,
But also Katie's been here a lot of years, and so that's why she has more. we put your salary higher than normal.
I've been here since 2018.
Yes. So I don't know if we wanna. What did
I mean, you could also bump Katie even a little bit more potentially to create that little bit for her experience. Because if you think about it, she's been here since 2018, making 15, and we got a head lifeguard that's making 12.
Like I say,
That's not a great gap. And then if you want to set a salary for assistant manager, that's new. Right? Yeah.
Does she doesn't have any pool experience.
She is a teacher.
A health PE teacher.
Yeah.
Who's the?
Tori Mace.
Tori Mace.
Not really by town. No. Okay.
Um, would you be opposed to getting one? You said you wouldn't be opposed to getting a raise.
No,
I'm thinking we go 16.
For Katie?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for Tori, assistant manager,
Where do we have her at?
what we have to do. We have the head at 12. We do.
Did 14, you're splitting it,
That's what I was thinking, splitting it.
or even, yeah.
14.
Is that right? Is that
yeah, I'm good with whatever you guys decide. She was just
14 's
curious.
And like Tori's not certified or anything, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's why I don't know. Do we need to go 13 then? Since she doesn't, this is her brand new first baby year. Our head lifeguard's been here at least 1 year, right? Who's the head?
3 years?
This will be
3
3
years.
years. Yeah, no.
So I mean, she has a lot of
Yeah.
experience with that.
Yeah, you gotta look at that part. Good point, Cheryl. 13.
This is your guys's.
13.
And like
Yeah.
honestly, she's only gonna be working like 2 days a week.
Oh,
I will be working 5. She's really only coming in to help with like swimming lessons or the extra stuff, and then just to give me a couple days off, so I'm not up there 7 days a week.
Is she agreeable to working a little bit more if you need a little bit more time?
I'm sure she would be. She probably wouldn't want to work more than 3-4 days.
Right. I was just thinking like that's still a lot. You know, you need to enjoy your summer too. So I was just thinking, you know, like maybe if there's a day a week that you wanted to only work 3 or 4 days, then would she work?
Well, and I will be going on vacation, and so she is going to pick up days then. And then I had talked a little bit with you about Kenna supervising on a couple of those days, which I have all faith in Kenna. Like she is great at what she does, and she's a great leader and very responsible. But I would get you the dates that she would be up there. That way you could pop in on her. So
give her support.
yeah. I'm
I have
very
like I think she is going to be just fine. It's my biggest concern is if she's, you know, directing patrons on how to act and behave, and they're giving her some sass. So, which I also don't know that will be a problem. She's pretty assertive.
yeah.
How old is she?
17.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to have a start once in a while.
Well, and I think before Taylor Vandaloo, she was, I think, a manager here years ago before Jen and I were, and she was 17.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm very confident in Kenna, so
Yeah.
No issues there.
So do we need to set up hourly for Tori?
Yeah.
13.
13.
Like going to make a motion?
I think Cheryl, your turn.
Okay. I move that we increase Katie's salary to be 16 an hour and the assistant manager to $13 an hour for pool. So the only two, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then
I second.
All in favor?
right.
Any opposed? Motion. Motion. That's good.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on, like just our daily admission, it's been at 2 years or $2 for quite a few years. We offer the $20 and $40 punch cards. That should say 40, not 10. And then our family pass, $150 covers up to a family of 4, and then an additional $20 per any additional family member. Are we good keeping all that the same?
We wanna go up.
How long has it been $2?
I feel like there was a year we tried to go 3 and it kind of like maybe admissions went down a little bit.
Well, like we kind of discussed, our community is, I guess, lower income community.
Yeah.
I work at this school. We have a lot of students on free and reduced lunches. They can't pay the $4 for a school lunch. So for them to pay $3, $4, $5, whatever to get into the pool, was kind of not feasible at the time.
Well, we're never gonna make money.
No.
No.
I think I like the $2 myself.
Well, I'm okay with it too. I was just curious.
The only thing I was gonna maybe bring up, and maybe this isn't really more hassle than it's worth, what it's worth, but I know there's a couple of pools around that in city has a rate, and then if you're out of city limits, it's like $1 extra.
We do have a lot of people that come from outside, a lot of people from Atchison.
Yeah,
Come out here.
But I still feel like we would be, I don't even know I don't even know what it is for admission into
It
like
used to
Lions
only be
Pool
$1,
It's
but I
$1.
don't know if it still is.
in Atchison.
Yeah.
they still
Yeah.
come out here because they
Yeah,
prefer a
this,
pool over
They
that.
just prefer.
and I don't remember what Hortons was last year. I feel like it was like 4.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So the punch cards, the only advantage is they don't have to have money with them.
Right. It's more for parents want to send their kids up throughout the week and they don't want them to deal with the cash. We just keep the punch cards there so they don't have to mess with it. And
Do you do, it used to be like 13 punches for
Yeah.
$20.
It would be nice to have a
You know what I mean? Like a little,
deal.
yeah.
okay.
Or 12.
But your punch cards is not just for admission, right? Like they can use their punch card at concessions, can't they?
No, it's just for admission.
It's just okay. I don't know where whose I saw that I had
We
like
did have somebody approach us last summer about that. So like if they were to just come up and put money on a punch card so their kid could get concession stuff without having to deal with the cash. I don't know if we want.
I feel like
then
I've
you
seen
kinda
them
get-
before where they have like some $2 ones and $1 ones and like 50 cent. Like there's so many. I don't know how they figure out how many of each you need, but
No, that's a lot of
it is a lot of.
keeping track of for the
extra.
for the
Yeah.
pool house people and stuff. So I tend to say no on the concession thing. We'll just do it for the punch card for the pool.
So do you want me to kind of figure out some type of incentive or deal on the punch cards where they're, because right now it's just $2, obviously, to get in. So you have a $20 punch card, you're gonna get in.
Man, how did we used to do this? It was like cheaper to do the punch
Well,
card.
I think that's when the price was $2.50.
I don't remember
And-
ever being at that high. Was it $2.50 at one time?
It was $3 at one time. I went back
It
and
was
looked
like
at
$3. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I think
think
that's what it
maybe
was.
it was $3 admission, and then
maybe
we did a $2 the punch
Maybe
card
that's what
for
it was.
$2.
I think that's
so
what
they
it
got
was.
in
Maybe that's what it
for
was.
$1 less if they purchased the punch card.
So if you did like 13 punches for $20, right? That would be a deal.
Even 12 for 20 would be a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
But
really
then get
hoping
two
that they're
free.
gonna buy the punch card and not use it all.
Well, yeah, do it 12 for 20. We could do it 12 for 20.
12 punches for
Get
$20.
some people.
Yeah.
Give them 2 free ones.
Give them some incentive to buy the punch cards, and if they don't use it, we end up making
Yeah.
A little bit of money off
a
of it.
little bit of money.
And
We were
like-
never going to come up even.
For the a $10 punch card, you could do.
I think she said that was supposed to be 40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it could be 40.
40.
Yeah, that was a typo.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you could do 12 for 20 or 20. Well, you could do 24. You could just, that's what I was thinking. You could even go, you go 25 for
25.
40.
And it might
45 for
like
40.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Make it even a little sweeter there.
Okay.
25 for 40.
Okay.
Do you have a lot of family passes?
Last year we had probably 7. So, not a whole lot, but for those families that do purchase them, they are definitely beneficial because their kids are up there all the time. So it is nice to offer that.
And do you have pool hours on here?
It'll be 12 to 6. I didn't also know.
And the other thing, whenever we put out the notice on the punch cards, we already some notice went out already on the Kansas city of Kansas Effingham, City of Effingham website or Facebook
Yeah, on a
page.
flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just one like from last year, so I can go in and change it.
And then make
send a new one.
we need to bold and everything that about the prices of the punch cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Really get it out there to them.
Yep.
When you get the flyer updated, if you could send it to me, I can put it on the website.
Absolutely. Yep.
Adult Swim?
Adult Swim. We don't have as many come in for the Adult Swim, so but we do have probably say 10 to 12 women that will come in for water aerobics. So that's been.
And what times are those from?
Usually, so regular hours are 12 to 6, so we normally go 6 to 7.
6 to 7.
And so are you thinking to do water aerobics every night?
I don't know that we would get all of the ladies there every night, just offer it 2 nights a week.
Okay.
We might switch it to Tuesdays and Thursdays and just not do the adult swim because I think we had on a regular basis maybe one lady that would come in, and it just didn't make sense to be paying me and a guard, for one person to be there that extra hour for $1.
Makes sense.
So I think we were going to go ahead and get rid of the lap swim, just do the adult swim or the water aerobics.
Okay. And just leave it 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get rid of the lap swim?
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna do it Tuesday and Thursday then for the?
It will probably be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah.
On the water aerobics.
Yeah. And then swimming lessons, I created a sign up genie for that. Went out just under a week ago. Morning session, we're going to offer that June 23rd through June 27th. And then evening will be July 14th through July 18th. We decided to do 2 separate weeks instead of having the morning and the evening all in one week because it's a lot of hours and it's just a lot.
Yeah.
We have 57 signed up for the morning and 60 signed up for the PM already.
That's awesome. Yeah, really.
So
How many max can you do?
yes, do what?
What's your max out?
Right now, so all of level 1 and level 2 are currently full. Level 3s are almost full. So level 6, 5, and 6 are the ones where we don't have as many. I think we've got 4 openings in level 5 and 6 in level 6
For both the morning
for
and
both
evening?
morning. And
That's a good
That's really good.
response. Yeah.
so we always have great.
Do you think we need to do another session?
Possibly. It just kind of depends. Right now, scheduling wise, with girls being at camps and vacations and just trying, like these were the 2 weeks I knew we were going to have all of our guards because we all have to be present for that.
For swim lessons, do we charge?
We do.
Yes.
So it is $25 for the first child. If they have a second child, that child would be 20, and then 15 for the third, or any more on
It's just $5 less each
$5
time.
less each time. Or more.
That's an awesome trial thing.
Okay, and then down here at items needed. So I talked a little bit with Katie about our pool cleaner, the robot. It is dead, like no longer working at all. We went through the manual troubleshooting. We tried to anything and everything that we could to get it going again, and it is just it's not happening. It is definitely something we need. We put that in every night at close. So
How much are the, oh, you have it down.
the one
They're
that
a lot.
the one that we have is a Wave 80 Dolphin. They run just under 2,400. So that is something that's we would want you guys to kind of discuss and then let us know as soon as possible on that. And then I don't know if you guys want to talk about this at another time or whatever, but there's a sink in the pool house and a sink in the chemical house where both of them pipes were busted because of freezing over the winter.
They weren't property.
They weren't probably
Winterized.
winterized.
So we are needing those replaced as soon as possible. I had sent Lisa some pictures, and it doesn't have to be the exact same one, just something similar. It's got to be like a wall mount for the one in the pool house and a higher faucet, so we're able to fill buckets and different things with it. The one out in
Well, but even if it's not a call faucet, you can just put your bucket and
oh yeah,
put
true, we
clean
can
water
just put it
underneath because
underneath and then just run right through.
the drain for it is a bucket underneath that they have to take out and dump.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not
I've been
even.
like that for years.
I know,
Yeah.
but like how hard we gotta figure out that's
It just runs straight through into a bucket, and then you
Oh.
take it.
It's not hooked into the sewer or nothing.
But like that whole pool house, the draining isn't bad. It's like in the bathrooms, like if you go
Water
try to
stands.
clean those bathrooms and the water just pools, like it doesn't drain
They
quickly.
build a slope in it.
Yeah,
and slope it
absolutely.
out.
You have
We have to squeeze everything out.
I don't,
It's just not good.
there's drains on the floor that don't drain. So,
Like they even went in and like drilled holes in the concrete to like help.
right, but you shouldn't have had to drill a hole in the concrete.
No,
You
you should
figure
just
out
fix
why
the
it's draining
drain.
and draining.
Right, but I'm just saying like it is how old? Like it is just
Like I don't know if it's ever been snaked or whatever. In the time that I've worked there, it has not.
Maybe we should get in contact with a couple,
Get in contact with Wheatland,
some plumbers
Wheatland
and just see what it would cost for them to snake it or put a camera down it.
see what our drainage system. I mean, like,
Wheatland's done a lot of camera work for us.
Yeah.
Over things.
And maybe since it, to get an estimate on how much it would cost to put a drain actually in that.
Drain that worked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That might actually be a little bit more work than what it is worth, though.
Yeah.
Truly.
Well,
I mean, it's not that big of a deal because we use it, wash hands, washing some utensils.
I remember a meeting where Jeff didn't know exactly where any of that drained into either.
It should drain out into the outlet.
We had a meeting and we talked about it.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I don't know where it drains out."
I don't know if they do know. Like
Well, so while they're at,
You know where it drains?
well, if they put a camera down it, we should figure out where it drains, but also if they're already here, maybe they can do that with the blue building. With that,
Blue building, first all.
well,
Yeah, that one's horrible.
And then the faucet that was in the chemical house, it was just like PVC pipe that he had rigged up into a faucet into the sink. All of it's busted. Like it was in pieces on the floor when we went in. So I don't even know what type of faucet because
so, but in that pump house, they have to have a body wash station because of the chemicals in there.
Yeah.
So we gotta have a water source out there, and it could even be like one of those pull chain showers. But we have to get that in there ASAP and an eye wash station. But the eye wash ones, that could just be the bottles of saline. That's like $75. It's not the greatest, but it
It'll
also
suffi-
can
it'll
be,
suffice.
but it also can, it will pass, it will pass
Yeah,
for
it's already
code,
up
like
there.
that would be what you, it would pass. But my other thought with that is you can take it out of there and bring
it's
it here in the
portable.
winter,
Oh,
so it
So
doesn't
it doesn't
freeze.
freeze.
It will expire. Saline expires or whatever. It might even be sterile water. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
what's in
but
it,
at
but
least we're not paying
but-
attention to get it, the pipes back.
right. But we still gotta have it. We gotta still have it in there because we have to have the shower.
Are we gonna be able to do this before the pool opens on the 31st? Will they be able to, I mean, will you guys be able to even function without this?
We can function without it.
I'm gonna be up to code though.
Right.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. We need it 31st. That's
It's
not
not up
that
to
far.
code right now. Like we shouldn't have anybody in that pump house without it in there.
We've never had a body wash thing in there.
There was
There was not a body, like, we had.
well, there was
we
not a
only
body
had
wash,
the
right?
sink.
The sink.
He had some type of eye wash station that was not connected
Not
to
even connected to
anything.
anything.
Like nothing. And it
Oh,
was
you cannot
nasty.
even move it.
Like,
You can't even
ugh.
rusted. You can't even move the like to turn it on. You cannot push it.
How long's it been like that?
Well, like,
The way it was up against the wall though, I didn't realize that it wasn't connected to anything.
Right.
Because when they showed the thing, I was like, well, if that's broken, then that's broken. And Bill is well, Bill is who we are with from Valley Falls for water and sewer.
Okay.
He came up to help with the pool because the chemical situation's kind of a mess. But when he showed the faucet in there being all busted apart, I was like, well, if that's broken, then that's got to be broken. And that's when he picked it
So you
up.
have
He's
to
like,
look
this
at
ain't even
that.
connected to nothing.
Wow.
So we
We-
do have to get that kind of thing.
So they can we ask the plumber about that too then? About the faucet in the pool house. And then just get the saline for
I mean, we're gonna have to. We gotta
Get a plumber from him and then see what Wheatland would do for us too.
I
Anybody else
understand
know?
you want it to cut it, but let's remember there's a swimming pool there, so if there is something wrong with it,
That's what I said as well. But if it's
it doesn't meet code.
it's not about code. It's
It's a legality
it's
issue.
no. It's if it's a chemical exposure on the skin, it has to be running water,
Really.
not yeah. Because that's why I was like, well, there's a pool right there. And he's like, yeah, but if it's some of those chemicals,
Very caustic.
like the calcium chloride, if you get a lot of that on your skin, you're not gonna want to just sit it in water because water makes it hot. So if you just sit it in the pool, it's got to be like
Running.
free flowing.
flushing it.
Because I said the same thing. I was like, well, there's a pool right there. You can just jump in.
Move your arm real quick in the water.
But even that doesn't have to be a ridiculously expensive.
They all sound like minor, really like really realistically minor.
Yeah. In the
feature-
grand
mi-
scheme of
minor
things,
fixes.
yes.
So. They just haven't
other
done
than
it.
the shark is the big one, and
Yeah.
then the concession stand, which I've got down here as well. But, and so AED, that's up here, correct? Okay, so I will pick up that oxygen.
I haven't gotten anything yet from Wes about it.
You have it?
No.
Okay, so I will reach back out to him.
He might have sent Bill with it. Bill was in today. But I didn't say anything about it.
So the AED, I will have to check with Wes. Oxygen tank. Do we have that up here? No.
I don't know how we're supposed to get an oxygen tank because you can't get that without a
So
doctor's
last
report.
year, we got it, and like Presley was the head manager. I can reach out to her and see what steps she took. But I know there was an oxygen tank at the pool last summer.
Portable one.
But the other thing is, are all of them certified to use it? Is everybody there certified? Because that's a huge. I know it's just oxygen, but if they don't have that certification, they cannot use it. Because like that, it's still a medication. You
Sure.
have to have it.
I
It's
think-
oxygen,
I think Atchison EMS buys theirs at fairs,
right? But they have a medical director.
but I don't think there's a restriction on who could buy.
For a
Just who
medical
can
oxygen
administer
tank?
it.
You have to have a prescription, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Cause you have to go to the pharmacy, don't you? I mean.
Well, they don't go through a pharmacy to get it. They go through their plumbing supply.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just,
Thayer's fills them, probably.
I don't know. I've just seen.
I know it seems like a stupid argument and whatever, but it's a medication.
I
And-
can get people certified and things to be able to use it.
That was part of some of their lifeguard training, I think.
Oh.
So I would just double check on. Because then, do we have non-rebreathers? Do we have nasal cannulas? Like, how are we administering it?
We had the nasal. We had a nasal, the tube cannula up there. I don't know how she got it or where she got it.
Okay.
So I will check with her. I was under the impression that just had a contact here and that
So I haven't been in every nook and cranny in the office. It may be there. Yeah, I don't know.
I will check on it. And then just a few smaller things like body fluid cleanup kit. We can order that off Amazon. Blades, crockpot liners, those type of things. Some extra whistles. And then we do have like the long white plastic lounge chairs. We have 8 of them up there, and 5 of the 8 are broken. They have been broken for about 2 years. A couple of years ago, we had talked about trying to get some replacements, but they're not super cheap. They're like $110 a piece for the cheaper ones. So I don't know if that's something.
That recycled plastic company makes. Do they make lounge chairs?
I think
I
they're just
remember
heavy
seeing
benches.
Benches and picnic
Just-
tables.
I googled it and it said you have to have in the United States. You have to have a prescription to get an oxygen tank.
Once you have it, you can take it anywhere and get it refilled because it's assumed if you have the tank, you've had the prescription probably. And EMS is different than.
Really?
Um,
You could get it filled without having a prescription?
I mean, you had to have the prescription to get the tank.
How much are lounge chairs? So the cheaper ones, like on Amazon, they're about $109 and some change. I did also mention maybe reaching out, like about donations. If somebody has some within the community that maybe they'd be willing to donate, or maybe like the Thrivent cards. I don't know if that's something that we could try to reach out to people about. That could tell us too. We get $200.
Do we want to go with the absolute cheapest ones we can find though, or are we going to be replacing them every year? Are they even going to make it through?
Are they getting broken
get a lot of
because they're being
abuse.
abused, or are they getting
No.
broken because of
we've
age?
had those. They've been up there since
It reopened.
I've been up there. So in
Those are pretty sturdy ones that are up there.
they are.
Yeah.
So I don't.
I don't think you want to go with something real flimsy.
I would hate to be
I
replacing
think
them.
some of the other ones are like $160. I just didn't know which
Is it on
brand.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Lowe's has some. Somebody had some not too long ago. I was looking at.
I think, just my opinion, I would reach out to the community first.
Like maybe we could put it on Facebook or
Maybe.
on the website.
Because,
See if you want to sponsor a chair.
people surprise you with the stuff they have.
They do, and like we've had people come up like last summer. We had a little girl, Sierra Cummings' daughter. They used a Thrivent card, and they brought up pool toys
Yeah, I
and
love that.
goggles and some little life puddle jumpers and different things that they donated to the pool. So we do have.
I'm just saying, maybe we could
members
reach
that are
out. I mean, purchasing too, but I think we should also reach out to community. You never know.
I think
Stuff.
Lions Club always gives money too to the pool. And I can probably
I don't know if we want. Do you want to have like 6,000 mismatched chairs up there?
that would be my own, but that might
That
be
was
my
my
OCD.
That's
that was
true.
my other concern too.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. You're right.
That might be my OCD.
And like The plastic ones are preferred over the fabric ones because the fabric ones will mold.
Yeah, you want plastic. up
Yeah,
there.
you want
I
plastic.
think the classic.
Glass.
So, like Lions Club, like they'll give $1,000. Like I'll probably write that check. Right.
Maybe we can get, I think that would be,
You can get 5 of them.
You know, but like that could be, that you could designate that $1,000 to be towards, I don't know, I guess it just goes into a fund. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
what
but
fund
we
it
would
goes.
be able to do all this that she needs. I mean, besides.
Except for the cleaner thing.
Yeah, I know,
For
that's what I'm
sure.
saying. Sorry, she could just go shopping on Amazon.
well,
Just see what we come up with.
Okay.
Don't have wheels. Yeah, I like that one.
The ones that we had up there had smaller wheels on one end so that when we were moving them, we could stack them and then move them
Makes it easier.
into the breezeway, like
and they're
into
white,
the
right?
storm. Yeah, they were white.
I like those.
What's the concession approval? That's the total food.
Yeah, so the first order is always going to be more expensive. Um, I'll make a copy or I'll leave it with Adam and he can make a copy, but I have kind of an itemized list and what everything costs and how many of each item that we're looking to get. So it's going to be roughly the $15.59. That's before tax.
Do we have to pay tax on it?
You have the tax
It should
exempt
be
federal
tax
ID.
exempt.
Okay,
Okay.
so
I can get that
And-
for you as well.
so we've been getting our stuff from Atchison Wholesale.
Oh, okay.
It just makes it really easy and convenient. They deliver on Thursdays. I email the order, they bring it out.
We're
It just
buying
makes it
kind of
easy so
local.
that we're not making multiple trips.
Is it like a minimal delivery charge?
No. She just,
There's no delivery charge.
Oh, that's very nice.
I'll say I could be a delivery.
there has not been in the past, excuse me. So, and we've been going through them since 2018.
What kind of general things do you guys just like candy bars?
So
Chips?
candy bars, ice cream, pop Gatorade water, and then we're doing nachos and hot dogs and hot pockets. Just so we had the hot stuff we started last year, just to have something a little more.
Well, that's a crock pot.
Good.
Yep. Other than that, opening day, we're hoping for the 31st. And then, excuse me, I'm sorry, is there a water fountain?
It is right by the bathrooms.
Like those. You have cup holders?
While Katie is out grabbing a drink, I'm just gonna let you guys know that I gotta leave here in about 10 minutes to get to baseball. Gotta get my boys to baseball tonight. So we can,
Fill in.
I mean, she,
Denver.
right now, yeah.
Be president.
There is a few things that I would like to be present with discussions. I don't know if you guys want to just table them for next time.
We need to go into executive session really quick and talk about
Yeah.
the
We need to get
personnel.
the one thing. No, elected personnel.
Is that good?
You got 10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I make a motion we go into executive session to talk about non-elected personnel issues. Thank you.
Anything for this?
No, I think really I'm good.
You can come back in. Sorry, I just have to leave.
It's okay. Other than just that chemical kit that
I called him today. He said he had to order it because the ones that he had were expired too.
You got something?
Right.
So it's,
other than
it's
that,
direct shipped here.
other than that, I don't have any. So if you just let me know about the shark whenever you guys make a decision, and then
Nothing there.
Okay.
Thanks. All right.
Okay,
Thank you guys very much.
Executive session to include the mayor, council members and the lawyer. And the clerk.
Do I have a second?
Wait a second. Ooh, ooh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
We back in the regular session, our executive session had closed. I make a motion. We have to make a motion to.
I can make a motion because you're present. You're late. Mayor, right now. I move that we go back into executive session for 30 more minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
We have a second on that.
For 30? Yes, 30.
You have a second on that?
If we get done early, can we come out of it?
We can't, can't we?
You can't, no, you can't.
Okay, fine. 20 minutes? We'll do 20.
So I have a second on going into executive session for 20 minutes.
I'll second.
Executive session has begun.
Okay, we're back on.
We are back into regular session. Executive session has expired. No motions were made. And we have a motion, we have to say we want a motion to start the meeting or?
No.
Okay. So the regular meeting will now begin. With Kathy as being the mayor because Katie had to leave. So Katie is on the phone with us, but
Do we want to
Not
talk,
running the meeting.
do we want to talk about her 3 ones that she wants to talk about?
yeah.
Yes.
So under old business, number
Did you have
3,
to-
the auditor, she does not have, I don't think she does.
That's the revenue.
But yeah,
Mary?
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about the audit, the 23-24 auditor.
Yeah, I didn't think that we probably need to get moving and get an auditor too. My understanding is that 23 books are done. And, or maybe that was the cash one, I don't remember. But we need to get an auditor in there in line for the 23 and 24 audits.
Can,
The one that they had was Shipley, and I just feel like at $9,000 for one audit, that's insane, and we can probably find.
can Jake do it? Is that his name?
I
Jake.
think Jake could do it. I just don't know what his prices are.
Let me call Jake tomorrow and see what we can get from him. Okay.
It works for me.
While we're on the discussion of audits, I'm going to tell you in the treasurer's report, the cash is not balancing, and it's a G-Works thing. Like I emailed Christina as well because I didn't quite understand like if the fund is either reconciling, like why isn't the cash balancing? And basically her reply was G-Works is trash. So,
Okay.
so this, if you're looking through those reports and see that kind of stuff, it's they're trying, they have to get a workaround to make that flow.
On the 23.
the 24.
24.
24.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry guys, I'm just gonna move on to like the next one because I'm on a stretch to Oscar and I don't want to lose service.
Okay.
I think the next one was the ordinance
Or
Code enforcement.
code enforcement.
Okay.
Have we heard anything back from Curtis Wheeler?
Pat.
I have not, and I also wondered if we kind of needed to put a little bit of stop to pause on things with Jeff being gone, because he was definitely a part of that process. Yes, maybe not as, maybe that was the point of having Curtis, but
That was part of the point with Curtis because we were getting nowhere. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong when I'm saying this, but we were getting nowhere because we had no enforcement. We
But-
still have.
Consistency.
We still don't have any enforcement.
the end discussion with Curtis was that he's willing to do it. And he wanted some parameters and guidance on how many hours you were expecting from him and what the pay was going to be, but that was the end of.
Well, I thought we had asked for him to suggest to us what he wanted.
I thought that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him since that meeting. Well, yeah, but
And we kind of talked about maybe maybe once or twice a month coming out.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like this, and no disrespect, if I can get Curtis's contact information, I'm happy to reach out and get some of like his thinking, like what kind of money are you looking for? What kind of hours? Like, what are your expectations? And then we can come with our expectations. Only for the fact that my time is free, and if it's going through Pat, again, no disrespect, but I don't want to waste your time in a simple communication like that.
Well, I'm not offended. I could text you his, I could text you his
Phone number,
info.
email.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Can pay?
Actually, I could text him and see if he's.
Fan pay? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Or that was just a pay system. I don't honestly remember why I highlighted that one. I don't think I meant to highlight that one.
You have the paperwork to fill it all out. It's free for the city.
Yeah. That's right.
It's completely free for the city. It
Nice.
charges the
card holder.
the card holder 2.5%, which is cheaper than GWorks. And then if they do an automatic withdrawal from the checking account, it's $1.50.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to use. It takes about 4 weeks to set up with everything.
But you can set it up on our website.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
I believe so, yeah.
So that will take the place of GWorks then?
No.
David? No.
No, because we have GWorks is tied through.
Yeah, so it'll
Billing.
be, if they come into the office, they can use their credit card.
Oh, so this would be for like that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll still have to do transactions in GWorks as like a processing because
For that one, because if we switch back to QuickBooks
Yes.
or got a different program, can we use Campaign as a payment process? Probably not as billing, but as like an online option for
Okay.
employees.
So that's
I
what I
believe
was,
so, yes.
that's what I was kind of thinking. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. It was taking like the place of.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
need to sign up for that.
Yeah, I'm on board for that.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, sorry to jump around, but this with that's all like GWorks being trash and everything like that. Central Spirit still not up and running. And this but also recommended QuickBooks. But she said we absolutely have to have the desktop version because the online one does not work for something with the taxes and the municipalities. Maybe
Oh.
papers.
Yep. Yep.
And she said there is still a desktop version that's available.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's what I thought.
So
I will get with so here's the other part of that is do we actually just want, I mean, can we actually just can
GWorks.
Central Square?
Can
I
we do
thought
that, Pat?
Can we do that?
Well, I mean, you sign agreements with, an agreement with them, and your agreement essentially says they don't promise to do anything and you're going to pay, which is what almost all tech agreements say these days. You have a right under the uh, Kansas catch basis law to terminate a contract if you don't appropriate additional fund for it. So I don't think you're getting back anything that you've already paid. I don't think you're getting a refund. But I think you can terminate it moving forward under Kansas cash basis law.
So there's no way for us to get refunded. on
Well,
that.
Right. I don't think there is. They're
Because we were never able to use their program.
I mean, it's a breach of contract basically because their contract, their software program doesn't.
But
We
he's
haven't even
saying-
used anything.
But he's saying the contract says we don't care.
well,
It's a like
Yeah, but that's selling to somebody a faulty bill of goods. I mean,
I don't disagree.
so people can get by with selling you a faulty
Trying to
bill of goods and you
find-
don't have any recourse on them. So
well, I mean that's what the agreement. I need to back up because Adam and I talked about this. I had seen their. I did not go back and review their agreement. I'm looking for a copy.
was it 9,000?
I think in total after everything. Yeah.
9,000.
Yeah, 7 to 9. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a copy of the Do you recall, did you email it to me?
I believe way back when we first, so it would have been December. I would have emailed you and Justin, but I'm not sure. I can get it to you though.
Yeah.
The
Oh, but then also with Central Square, Adam, how much was that extra that they wanted for that module?
1,000.
oh, for the
1,500
import
wasn't it?
data,
1,053.
$2,160,
We're not paying that.
No.
wasn't it?
I thought it was
You have it.
1,053.
You have it right there.
They did that, so you could do the journal entries, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
This was just over $1,000.
One was 1,053 was.
Yeah, just over
Okay.
1,053.50.
Yeah, the 1,053.50 was for the import module.
Gotcha.
You should, that's a big ripoff right there because any software program, you got to have a way to get it in the system.
It should be included.
Yeah, it should have been included.
And then the training was the $2,000.
Yeah, so training was
For
the
10 hours.
2,160. So right there, we're out. If we choose to go with Central Square, that's another $3,100, $3,200 right there, on top of 9 that we got, and there's still no guarantee that it's going to work.
Yeah, I think we should be.
I just wanted to bring that up, put that on your court, guys. Like I just feel like we're out. If we're out money, I think we're just gonna have to eat it. And I would like try to put something as strongly in place. Like if we make the decision to go back to QuickBooks, they can't change it in 2 years because I don't know how you make something like that happen, but we're out a lot of money on software that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think
I'm for. I mean, I'm the mayor. I can't vote or anything. Okay.
I think we
need
should
to make a
part
decision.
ways.
Yeah, we need to make a decision.
And I
We
think
do.
part ways and just get on QuickBooks.
I agree. That's
QuickBooks
not,
is easy to use.
We've got 2 people that can help us. We've got Christina that can help us on QuickBooks, and we got Jake that can help us on QuickBooks.
well, and Lisa probably has done stuff on QuickBooks too, I would imagine.
I believe so. I know her mom has an account with them.
Okay.
But I will look. I've heard. So I'm on the CCMFOA. I can ask them about what programs they use for billing. I've heard something like Redline. There's the Thoroughbred. There's a few that they use.
There's
for
got to
just
be
billing.
something out there because these other small cities that
Yeah.
got help.
Yeah.
And Thoroughbred is like Everest and Lancaster they use.
And that's what
Robinson,
we use
there's a
things, right?
Robinson uses one of those too.
You also have to make sure it's compatible with that too.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, I have to go get my kid and I will bring her up here because Jack is struggling. Can we take a
Well, I'm gonna
break?
go now, so thank you for entertaining my phone call and have a good.
Thanks. Thank you.
I will be like,
I move that we take a 15-minute recess.
Well,
Can we do that? Oh, wait.
you could also continue discuss. Yes, you
Because
could.
we don't have quorum then, if she leaves.
Well,
you just can't make a decision then.
I
Right.
think you still do have quorum with.
She's
well,
the mayor.
she's the mayor. Okay.
So do we have to do that? Do some sort of break so we can,
You certainly may do that.
okay.
Okay, I will be right up.
Take a 15-minute 15-minute break. The meeting is back in session.
We start. Can we go to start over?
I found a couple of things in that agreement.
Oh, okay.
One of them, it explicitly says that clients shall not be entitled to a refund of any subscription fees paid. It also allows for termination only for a material breach, and material breach requires you give written notice to them of that, and they have 90 days to cure. And you're still on the hook to continue to pay them during that 90 days as long as they're diligently pursuing the cure. I don't know if you can establish that. From what I understand, the problems are it's not necessarily the software. Software doesn't work. It's that we don't understand how to use it.
No, it's the problem is that the software doesn't work because it's not what going as what they sold it to us as.
Well,
But who knows if we were sold the correct thing to begin with too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not
We
a
don't pay a
simple,
monthly thing though, right? So we paid for the year at the year.
Mhm.
Oh, so we're good till the end of the year.
So that should be fine, right?
So if they in that through, but
We
aren't,
just don't have to renew it next year, right?
Mhm. But we have to give them 90-day notice.
so we gave them notice as of like June 1st or whatever, then we're stuck with them.
Is that kind of the way you would see that, Pat? As long as we give them notice by 90 days by the end of the year?
I think you can not appropriate funds and terminate it under Kansas cash basis
Oh.
law even quicker than that, but
Oh,
it sounds like you've already paid for it
well, we're not
through
gonna
the end
do
of
For
the
a whole
year.
year.
So I don't know if there's a benefit of doing that. I don't disagree with anything that you said. If you could show that and prove to a court that they breached that they didn't sell you what you were what they sold you didn't match up with what they promised you when they sold it, that a court might view that differently. And their software does have a warranty in there. I mean, which is actually a little better. You kind of remember it because they warrant that it will work in substantial conformity with the specifications. Uh, so, I mean,
Okay.
it might,
We could,
well, how much money was was the contract for a year?
It's somewhere between 7,000 to 9,000.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I think it's worth
Yeah,
for the
a
shot.
look
Yeah.
yeah.
because we've never been able to use the product.
Okay. So we'll need to get together, explain to you everything that's wrong with it so I can.
So then like moving forward, like, do we get QuickBooks going?
That's what I was wondering.
Well, I think what we need to do is I'll get a hold of Jake.
Mhm.
And I'll talk to Jake and tell him that we've made the decision that we're not going to use Central Square. And that we would like to proceed to go to QuickBooks. Because he's very familiar with QuickBooks. He has a lot of clientele on QuickBooks. And see what his cost would be. Have Katie get a hold of Christina with Lloyd Group, see what her cost would be, get it set up. To get everything migrated over, do the migration over to.
And he might be able to do that for us too. Or can he do it? He probably can't do it and do the audit though.
Well, no, he could do the audit. The audit's 23. That's two, they're two totally separate things. So you could do the audit thing for 23, maybe. I'll get a hold of him and see. And then also talk to him about doing the migration. You know, if we get QuickBooks to do the migration, taking it from GWorks, taking that over to and putting it into QuickBooks, because he's very familiar with that. And then how much that would cost us. And then Katie could get the same thing from
Christina.
Yeah, the Lloyd Group.
Christina. And then we would have a good quote that we could go on.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. I'll get hold of him tomorrow.
Sorry, that was really loud.
I'll reach out to the CCMFOA group to see what they use for just billing specifically, whether it's thoroughbred or it's redline, whatever.
Well, I think Jake said Robinson I think had Neptune, and I think they used service. So you might get a hold of Robinson, see what they say.
They might only have a part.
But that's one of the ones that he was saying that they did it that way. So
Perfect.
okay. So we want to go proceed with the regular meeting here.
Yes.
Approve bills.
Did you have questions on those?
I got questions on them. Yeah.
Okay.
What is the one for Lloyd Group for 2562 for? It says bookkeeping August 15th, April 1st through the 15th.
I
10 hours at $250 an hour.
Is that the,
Is that
That's
for
fixing-
reconciling?
I believe that's fixing the 23 books.
1623.
Yeah. But I know because the 23 books are now complete. They have been working on the 24 books, but I do not think she sent an invoice for that currently.
Probably not until it's completed.
Second one I have is one from the Kansas Rural Water for Michelle Swinson for $180. No, $235. Why did we pay for her? Anybody know?
Is that conference they went to in Wichita?
Yes.
Yeah, that's for Jeff, and that was for Jeff and Adam.
Did she pay it and we paid her?
Not that I know of. I do know there were some spouse activities that could have been signed up.
Well, we got a registration fee of $180. We got a
Did she go?
Tuesday evening meet and greet $25, and we got a escape to Margaritaville $30.
I don't think we should pay that because it wasn't approved. I didn't know she was going.
I don't want to prove. I don't want to pay it,
What do you think, Steve?
but she went, so it's
I
got
don't-
something's got to happen. But I don't
didn't
want to pay
know.
it.
I think if you want to go, you have to be pre-approved to go. I think that's kind of what the rules are.
Mm.
I have kind of a lot to ask too.
She's a part-time employee who cleans. Why does she need to go to that?
Well,
What was the seminar?
What was the seminar?
It was the Kansas Rural Water Association put on what was it, 3 days of training. Usually the city superintendent goes for those trainings, so at the end of it, they can take the test to become certified for water or wastewater, depending on. Jeff already had his certificates, so he went because they have to also do so many hours per year in order to
Continuing ed.
stay certified.
And did you went
Yes,
too?
because they had city clerk courses
Yeah.
that I went to.
That was in Wichita.
Yes.
And here's the meal tickets for Wichita.
Oh, for Jeff.
Yeah, except it's got one for DQ for Atchison.
You know what that is?
He had to go to Atchison or something, and he stopped off. Wait, DQ for Atchison?
Yeah.
Do they have a jury?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stopped off for lunch. I don't know exactly
But why would that be a city expense? I thought it
Yeah,
could
that's
be
not a city
expense.
expense.
that I do.
Oh, he needs to repay us that one.
I don't know if we paid it or I.
is it on
It's
the
on,
credit
it's
card?
on
It's on the credit
card.
card.
Okay.
Oh, no.
The other part of it is it's on. I thought we were getting all the receipts on a credit card.
I believe they are, aren't they?
Mm-mm. Well, maybe they are. Here's the Hilton. Yeah, they're behind it. Never mind.
Okay,
I stand corrected.
that's
Or
fine.
one meal.
'Cause we made sure we went through.
Okay. And then I guess my other question on the trip there is that we got Jeff's bill for his hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the back side of that is the $187 charge on our credit card for Michelle.
From the hotel?
Uh-huh. So guest name,
Was it during this
guest room. Hang on. Look, you were there how many days?
3?
What were your dates?
So we would have gone Monday 27th,
25th,
25th,
26th,
26th,
27th.
27th of, was it March? Or March, April?
We're just called wild, bro.
March 25, 26, 27.
Well, I mean, I guess there's two bills here that got charged to the Hilton. One of them is at $187.22, and that says guest room charge for the 24th, and then there's another one here that is for Jeff. That's got guest room charge 1, 2.
But you had a room?
Yes.
His was Hilton.
Mine was, I was able to book it at all 3 days. The problem was Jeff was only able to book at the KRWA rate for 1 or 2 days. Then he had to check out and then check back in.
Okay.
So
I'm
if
curious.
if it's all 3 days, I don't know.
That's fine.
Okay.
I was just curious. That's all I had.
So I think he needs to pay us back this 23.19.
And
And is this on the thing too? 200.
Kansas, hang on.
Is it on the credit card?
We pay the Kansas registration fees on the credit card.
For her?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, this is,
Is Jeff her supervisor?
is Jeff her supervisor?
Technically, no.
No.
I think Katie is.
No.
You are?
Yes.
Okay.
For
Did
the
you ask
personnel
you to go
policy.
before she went?
Well, was she approved to go?
She went as Jeff's spouse. That's what I remember hearing.
I don't think anybody knew I didn't.
But
know
nobody
she-
approved it.
I didn't know she went until today, right now.
And going as a spouse is one thing, but going as a
Well, when you
as
go,
a registered participant, it's different.
it's a different. And then
If you want to go on your own and pay for
I mean,
your
I've been
stuff,
to
whatever.
I've been to a lot of conferences in my lifetime as in management and stuff. My spouse went with me several times, and I always had if there was additional fees, I always had to pay for my spouse's fee.
Sure.
Yeah, like
So,
airfare or
well, even like if you went to a dinner and it was they were extra, you paid for it extra.
yeah.
So, yeah.
These are the two that were complicated.
So how do we handle that?
Yeah.
That's the question. He's already gone. Have we paid him?
His check is still in the safe.
The last check
Yes.
from last Friday.
Maybe this one with him.
Last
Done.
Friday.
Well, he hasn't even came and got his last week.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, does that have all his extras on there that we were paying out?
That is already paid out.
That
So-
is already paid out.
Yeah, so all of his extra, the vacation time and stuff, paid out as soon as he left and no longer employed with the city. His last paycheck, we had to wait for G-Works for the payroll cycle. Yeah.
But and here's the other question on that. Did we pay him just 25% of the sick pay?
Yes. Overall, I think the total was, I think it was 5,000 in total, 3,000 after taxes. Somewhere around those numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was for sick pay, right?
That was sick, vacation, personal days. 25% of sick, but yeah.
I would find out because I don't see the charge on this.
You don't.
You don't see it on the credit card?
The 235.
Didn't see it either.
I don't see it on here.
Yeah.
So maybe do we need to find out from him or
I can ask Lisa to look into it
Okay.
before. Does it show on the invoice if it's paid and how it was paid?
No, it says make checks payable to KDDR or
Yeah.
Those probably haven't been paid then.
KRWA.
this invoice was from January?
Yeah,
Is Mark?
yeah, the invoice is from January.
Yeah.
Where the heck is that from then?
I don't know.
Makes sense.
What?
It says three. It says the luncheon at 3. It says 325, 325.
But the invoice is dated January
So
20th.
she knew in January she went and never even asked. Did you know anything about it?
Nope.
Did you know
But
anything about it?
the invoice is from January?
Invoice.
So she was registered
She was
in
registered
January.
in January.
That's when they processed the invoice.
For those
And then
dates.
the actual function was in April.
March.
March, sorry.
So she knew in January. Okay. Interesting.
Amount paid $0.
So it
Amount
hasn't been
due to
paid.
refresh.
Okay. So it has not been paid on the credit
No,
card.
it hasn't been paid. So really that needs to be her responsibility.
This needs to be her responsibility. He needs to pay us 23. My opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So who has that conversation with Jeff?
Katie. You want to talk to Katie about?
I'll let her know.
Other than that, was there anything else that you saw on the bills? Did you want to look at the bills?
I looked at him. You guys would know better than me. I was like looking, I was like, I don't know all these yet. It's like, yes, yes.
So I make a motion to approve the bills as presented other than the KRWA invoice for 235 and the Dairy Queen charge of 2319.
I'll second that.
Oh, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All against, nay. Motion carries. Approval of minutes of the previous meetings. Everybody had a chance to read them?
All three of them are printed out right now. This time I forgot myself. Sorry. I was not sure how to, not the first one, second one, not the second one, third one. Yes, that's the one where we appointed Jesse onto the council. I wasn't sure how to do it, so I had to look up to see when the last time it was done. This is kind of how they did it.
Did you go down and sign them?
There was, I went down there, they had nothing for me to sign. And I looked into it and I got an email back from Brandy Featherstone. Is that the last name?
Something is working.
And she said they looked into it further and there was nothing they needed. They only needed the signed oath. And they said they had received it from Adam. So
Does that sound right, Pat?
I thought there was something like a statement of substantial interest or
they acted like they had no idea what I was
then we
Well,
leave
they've
it
got
to you.
new people.
I need to maybe go down at some point, so I might ask them again, if that's okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I was like, okay.
But it was Adam sent the paperwork in that you signed for his.
Yeah, that oath they received it. So they
Okay.
said they got that the day before, I think.
Yeah, I sent it in
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah, so they're like, we already got that. And then she emailed me the next day and she's like, there's nothing that we can find
Nothing else.
that needs to be completed. So
Okay.
that's where we're at with that. So I tried.
Good effort.
Yeah.
Is everybody okay with the minutes? Do you have any changes?
Nope.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I second.
All in favor, say yes.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. City superintendent report, since we don't have a superintendent right now.
Max had asked if you guys wanted him to come in like next month meeting just to say what he's been doing.
Well, yeah, I would. And the other thing I want to do is we need to get some kind of a list going of what needs to be done, like on a weekly, monthly. Yeah,
Did Jeff ever make that list up like we asked? That you know of?
Not that I know of. I know that I had to go to the shop to try to locate a map for Bill McCoy, the new guy who's been helping out. We could not find the map, but he does have. Jeff did print some pages, like saying how to do certain things, but I don't know exactly what everything they need to do.
So we're gonna. I mean, and I just say this because we went through the problem with the pump because nobody ever did the service on the pump. 10 years, then it never got changed once. That ended up costing us what, $16,000 or something like that. So I mean that's the kind of stuff that needs to be done as far as making up a list and saying you need to do the pump, they need to be serviced, this is who services them, this is how often you service, equipment, the trucks. I mean, we need to get a mileage read off that truck too.
Max was driving it.
That's fine. I just want a mileage read off of the. I think we need one.
And then do we need to think about increasing Max's pay since he has more responsibilities?
I can't. I mean, I would.
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor of that, yeah. What's the amount? He makes
$16
$16 there.
currently.
I'm good with 17 or 17.50 an hour.
Either one. What do you think? Does anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to increase Max's pay to $17.50 an hour.
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The other thing on superintendent thing,
Starting
somebody,
Today's date.
Or
Yeah.
next pay
Starting
period.
next pay period.
Next pay period, yeah.
This. Okay. So on the next pay period, you want it to reflect the increase.
Starting
So
that
that's
day.
the new, when's this pay period then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How does your pay period?
Um,
So whatever day this pay period ends, the next day.
right, we just got paid, so we're a week into this pay period.
So wait till the next one
Yeah,
starts.
let's wait till the next.
Okay,
That might be
Does
the
that work?
Yeah, that might be the easiest too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That way we don't have to worry about halfsies.
Yeah.
either that or we go back a week.
Oh, give him back pay.
It wouldn't,
It's not back days.
It wouldn't be back pay because it'll be, yeah.
yeah.
What do
So
you,
it'd be
what do you,
starting now.
what do you think? How was that usually done? I don't know how we usually do that.
Usually it's the next pay period, I think, if you get a raise. It's usually
Yeah,
on the
it's
next
just in
pay
your next pay
period.
period. It doesn't go back. It goes to
Doesn't go, it goes forward.
forward.
Yeah.
So next pay period.
Perfect.
Okay, anybody else got anything on the superintendent's report?
Well, like you were saying earlier about duties, I mean, who would even come up with a list? Who are you even thinking, like, because we have nobody
Well,
at this point.
Yeah. I was thinking I could email like Holton, Horton, Greenville Valley Falls to see if they have a list of things that their city superintendent does.
That's a good idea.
I
And
think
Max
that's
might
a
even
great-
have some, he might.
That's
be
what
able
I'm
to
saying. Maybe Max
well,
could
Max
have to
spent time with, yeah, because he spent time with Jeff last summer,
Since,
so.
since Max wants to report to us next month, maybe have him
Write it up.
write up a list of what his responsibilities are. And then, yeah, like you said, you can email some cities and get lists for those so we know maybe that would be good to present to our future city superintendent.
That gives them some accountability.
No, yeah.
Nothing else?
For superintendent?
City treasurer's report?
Yes. So she was able to print out the next 3 booklets in your paper. She has completed the 2024 bank reconciliation. Upon printing the different reports, you'll see that there's difference in what GWorks is showing compared to what Simple City is showing. So on this sheet, these numbers up here should match what these numbers down here say.
I can't read that, but okay.
Yeah.
We can hear
So,
that.
the very first one, 316, 332.96 cents should be the 316, 332.96 or and 96 cents. And it should follow that along those lines. But GWorks has issues that they have been working on with Christina to try and fix.
Are they actually working with her?
Yes. So, we had huge issues for the October and 23. It's done, or no, 24, October, November, and December are done. We were waiting for GWorks to fix a few things like this, and then 24's books should be done once GWorks finishes.
Okay.
And once GWorks finishes that, and then we're going to have a report that we can actually send to the state and a report that you can take up to Hiawatha on the 16th of June to Carolyn for the budget. Have she got a hold of you about what you're going to need or anything?
No, I called her because I might. We were doing things for Father's Day because that's the Monday after, and I had prior Justin taking it off.
So when I called her last week, she said that they don't have a reschedule that we can do. I'd have to go in on a weekend, like on the telephone, call her up and do it on a Saturday or Sunday. So I'm planning on just leaving the function I was going to be at early to be there because it is at 4 p.m. in Hiawatha.
And then, but she didn't tell you what you needed.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
During that phone call, no.
I'll talk to her.
Okay.
I gotta call Carolyn and talk to her.
So, and then she also included the April bank statements. So you guys can see how much money we currently have. That's that really big number on the front page.
The first number here.
Bank statement. One more.
I don't know what it was.
One. That's how much money we currently have in.
Okay.
Then the next two are the money market accounts. You wanted to provide all of that information as well.
Did we ever get when it was actually? Yeah, it was after, established in June of 1999.
Yep.
We're only able to go back to 2015 for activity and cash.
Yep.
That's nice information, isn't it? Okay.
If you have specific questions on treasury things, send them and we can try to answer. Or like next meeting, request information beforehand, just because of uh, how many hours she has and what else she's working on.
We need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
No.
I think so.
Nope.
And then it's gonna hit the board.
There's a checklist right here to see.
Yes,
Clerk budget check.
that is yeah. So I have the budget checklist, budget timeline, and everything. I printed off for everybody, just so we're all on the same page, and I won't forget things. I am also going to a state budget training in Topeka tomorrow. That's why the office is closed. It starts at 9 and ends at 4 p.m. Yep. The waste tire grant is all signed. I'm waiting for delivery of the items. They're delivering it to the shop. And then we have to put it together for the pool and for the park. The table and the two
You did a good
benches.
job for Max.
They might need help.
Yeah.
They might.
When do you think they'll be here?
I want to say next week or the week before or after. So before the pool opens, we'll have them.
Well, maybe we'll have a superintendent hired by then too.
Yep. We're gonna have one.
So, other than that, the
What's the
consumer
CCR?
confidence
Yeah.
report certificate. So the consumer confidence report is something that KWO, the Kansas Rural Water, has us put out every year showing how safe our water levels were. So pages 2, 3, and 4 go over those different numbers. This is something that I have to put out to the community every year. So what we're looking at doing is mailing a copy to everybody with mailing the link to the copy, I should say, on the next water bill. So I printed off 200 different labels that will attach to the water bill. The link takes them directly to the website where they can just click download the PDF for this.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, QR code might be a good option to have too.
Good thinking.
Next time.
I don't know how to do it.
QR code. I don't do them.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Oh,
But does that cost money?
We'll get on
No.
Maybe QR code, because I heard those cost like, I don't know, right now. The school has Canva like we,
So you can do it through Canva.
but it's like we pay a subscription, so that was my least.
Oh, okay.
You look into it.
But yeah,
So
So the waste tire is done.
this we have to send out by June 1st. So the next bill will have it, but we don't have to report to the first page till October 1st. But as soon as it's sent out, I'll have it done.
So they're gonna be on the gym bills. Or, I like the sticker idea.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
That has it for me.
Um, Finance Committee, I have nothing.
Katie did talk earlier about removing the committee report section from the agenda and having it where if you have something for the committee, send an email and we can put you on the agenda.
That's a good idea for me.
That works.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good idea for me. So we don't have that.
I mean,
And I know that,
do you have, is yours gonna fall under here or is it on the back?
yeah, sorry, are we ready for the tree board one?
yep, good.
Katie just sent a message and said, do you know who else is on the tree board? Josh Heineken is asking about a tree in his yard that needs to be taken down. So maybe we need to reach out to Mr. Feldkamp and Tim Becker and Mike Garrity.
Yeah, because they haven't had a meeting since what, October?
They haven't been here for a while.
Or November.
Also, the Bev Jeffries has one too that needs to be taken down. It's really dead. If it falls, that wind's coming from one direction, it's gonna hit our house. It'll take it out, the whole house.
Awesome.
How about the parks playground beautification?
I gave everybody the two bids from on the sign, if we want to move forward with that sign. So this is what we got from Robert's sign. This is what we got from an actual picture of what it would look like for them to install. So
Did we ever hear back on that grant?
No, I haven't heard
Nothing yet.
anything.
When should we hear back?
April 15th was the deadline.
Before now.
So we probably
Okay,
didn't
we
get
probably
it.
didn't get it.
Is this for one sign then?
this is, yes, this
Yeah, I
is,
don't think it's even come out with those who have gotten it yet. I think,
Last time I looked, it wasn't anything on it.
yeah, I think that it's just been delayed with a lot of other federal spending.
And where would this go?
so this is down at Veterans Park, down there by the,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're
and
talking
they like a wooden one that was kind of V-shaped, and that got blown away in the storm.
about.
And so this is a replacement sign for that
Okay.
place there, and it's double sided, so like it would face like east west. So when you're coming north south, you can see both sides.
So this one was originally what, 35, and then they added 1,000 for install.
Yes, it is 1,000 for install. And the
And this
other
one
one,
is-
Roderick, they sent me an updated one today because it was so long ago and they
That would have like
inflation.
expired or whatever.
Yeah, agreement. So
So this is the updated one from today. Oh yeah, from today. Yep.
And it's only 30 days.
But we don't have a picture from Roderick.
no, and like, yeah, just
And does she work with Haley with this company?
yeah. Have you seen in the new edition like all the donors, like that wall of all the donors?
Oh, is that from them?
These people did that. It looks amazing.
It looks. That's that Roderick or the Saint?
No, the custom line.
Oh, the custom.
It
Okay.
comes to Bethel. Yeah.
We were only talking $500, so.
Yeah, I mean it's not that big of a difference.
And they're not gonna charge us for a like travel fee, right? It's just the
No.
installation.
Yeah.
It's all included.
And like, I think this is like, cause they talked about they would dig down, like the posts would
Yeah.
go so far down, you know what I mean?
That's what it kind of shows. So are we just? So
But we need to decide on which one we
which one
want,
we want to
right?
do? So. Well, I like the sign that you guys chose. I do like that.
I think it'll look nice. And then, kind of like our down the road, like, you know, if we can get banners to hang on the poles and kind of go with this theme, you know, just to make everything kind of cohesive.
Maybe get eventual smaller signs for the edges of town.
That's what I was wondering, because I know that was something I'd heard about
Talked about
and
two,
discussed.
One on the
And I think,
Yeah, on each.
north side, north south side.
when Jeff talked to KDOT, I think there was just like some misunderstanding about like what we had in mind. And then,
I got
you know, cause like, we can't take down those welcome
No,
to Effingham, the green ones. Those are KDOT signs.
Yeah, no,
You know, that's not,
it's on addition to.
yeah, and I think Jeff had in mind, we wanted to take down those green signs
I
and
didn't
place
even
them.
think that was even like I
Wasn't
didn't even
even
think
an
about
option.
that.
Yeah,
No, it didn't. It wasn't a
No,
thought in
no.
my mind ever.
yeah, because that's, yeah. No, I think that would be good to look down the road too for those, because when we travel, because we, you know, we're always in the car, we always look at everybody's welcome signs when you come into their like small towns and how unique they are. And so we've had like a lot of discussion about these. Like Park Drive, because I'm like, oh, it'd be so nice when you come into actually Effingham, and you can like has a nice sign, and
Yeah.
you know, this is who we are.
It'd be nice.
A little off topic. The fair board asked if they could put a banner near the entry into the city for the fair.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I said yes. They're not gonna block any signs or anything like that. It's gonna be in the ditch,
I'm fine with
Is
that.
it like in somebody's land or is it just gonna be in the right of way?
the right of way.
I'm fine with this. You all right with that, Jenna?
Do what?
Having the fair board put up a sign on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
just
did
a
it.
temporary.
Probably.
She said she called it a banner, but I don't know.
Oh,
Like something like they do up there at the rural water.
Well, it could be like the one they have up here, it's not like a
is
cattle
it like
panel.
their event coming up?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's just for the, oh yeah, that's not.
yeah.
But even like on the edge of town, you know, we have like the Tree City USA sign, we have Lions Club that needs new signs, but like if we could make a little collage with our orange, you know, like the Welcome to Effingham and then Tree City. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, that's. So what are you guys thinking for the better? I mean,
We probably need to get it going so it doesn't keep going up.
oh yeah, because this, I think, I don't know about them.
Which
This
one are
one
you leaning-
expired
are you
in
leaning
30
towards
days.
this one? I do. I just I like that they can show us.
Cause we asked them to show us and they didn't, right?
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I like it that they were able to, and I like it. They're probably like a smaller company too, probably, and I kind of like that. That's just my opinion. Can I make a motion to go with Custom Life Company?
I can
Go with
second it.
Go with the sign for the Welcome Song Effingham. $4,500.
You say.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Yay, it's gonna look awesome.
You would contact them and let them know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, like installation time, I mean, just whenever they're available.
It'd be great if they could have it done before fair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they'll have it done.
Yeah, I know, but otherwise, yeah, I would think, yeah, that would be great to have it done. I'm pretty sure they will, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
just in case.
Okay, got anything on streets, alleys, sidewalks?
I know. I don't
Got
know.
anything on pool, building, or equipment?
And we already talked about pool enough.
Yeah, we already did.
Already had a 2-minute break.
Do we need another break? Are we good?
We're good.
Okay.
Moving on to old business. 2 meetings a month.
So, this is for the second meeting is usually the ordinances that, we've been trying to work through and everything. I didn't know when the next one you wanted to have, 21st or the 28th.
I can't do the 21st.
Well, 21st won't work with Katie. We already know
Mhm.
that.
Oh, and the 28th may not work either with her. I think.
Yeah, it seems like Wednesdays are not good days for her right now.
I can do 28th, but
I will be out of town, but it just sounds like for Katie in general, it didn't sound like Wednesdays or Thursdays were good days for her.
Mhm.
So could we do it on a different day of the week, or does it have? Okay. Does it have to be Wednesday?
It does not have to be.
Okay, I was like, does it have to be a Wednesday? Okay. So I don't know.
What day are checks? Thursday.
Thursday. So Thursdays won't.
But they only have like 5 days.
Oh.
And Katie's usually busy, what, Mondays and Tuesdays?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she works.
Mhm.
So maybe maybe Fridays,
Let's just
table it.
not have one necessarily for May, or at least
I'd say
maybe.
we not have one for May. We'll just start it up in June.
Okay. I will keep it on there.
Just because we don't have any clue when we couldn't even pick a date, so.
Okay, so the audit status on 2023 books, they're done.
They're done.
2023 books are done. I believe we just need the auditor.
I'll get a hold of Jake.
Yep, for 2023.
Yep.
Let's see
I
if you
don't know if he wants to wait for 2024 to be done, and I don't know how long Christina estimates for it to be done.
Okay. Documentation of information that went to that was sent to Christine for 2023 auditing corrections.
Yeah. So this one, I think she provided last month, but you had a couple more questions. But I can't remember what those questions were, so we left it up on the agenda.
We'll catch it up in June.
Yeah.
2026 budget. You're working on that. I'm going to get a hold of Carolyn.
Mhm.
So
So
sounds crazy.
Yep.
2026.
I know.
So I go to the meeting tomorrow, and then I have the time entry off so we can make sure that we're all good.
Time clock policies.
So I was wondering, we want to get the time clock for the city employees so we can clock in, clock out. Are there specific sets of policies that you are looking for? Like, what if I miss a time punch? Can I punch in my own time? Does Lisa have to do it? Those sort of policies. Does that make
Oh,
sense?
is there an 8-minute rule? So as long as you're before or after 8 minutes, you're not on time, or
Yeah.
Maybe see what you're emailing those other about the superintendent job. Maybe add that about.
That's a
if you
good
have
idea.
Policy.
I would say you would probably need, my opinion is, I remember, because when we timed in for like the school back in the day, you guys don't, but like when I did as an employee, we missed something, we'd have to have somebody else fix the error.
Mhm.
So I know, do you guys, you punch out in and out right now?
No.
You just do an
Record.
Excel?
Who
Yeah,
approves
no.
time cards right now?
Yeah, how does that work? What do you
So we have a sheet that has basically a month. For 2 weeks, we just write down, I arrived at 7 a.m., I left at 3 p.m. And then at the end, I give those to Lisa. She puts it into GWorks,
Oh,
the
okay.
time sheets. And
So we
that's-
do, so are we,
But nobody else signs off on
so are we going to a time in, time out?
it. We're wanting to.
You're wanting to?
is it a software-based one so that the pool people can do it easily?
Does QuickBooks have?
Well, that's what I was, because QuickBook is what we use currently.
Yeah. Does it? Have
Yeah, it might.
Okay.
You might want to look into it. I don't know for sure.
We haven't settled on one yet.
We were talking about ADP.
Mm-hmm. But they take over payroll completely.
Right. Yeah. We want to wait and do that. Talk about it next month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can leave that on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Inclement weather policy.
I gave you guys the printouts to look over to see if there were anything, but again, it's something that can wait until we're gonna have inclement weather. So I can take it off completely and add it again in say October, November,
No, we need.
No, we should probably figure it out before then.
August or September.
August, September.
let's
I'll
do
move it
August.
then.
Code enforcement position. No word from Curtis Wheeler yet.
Correct. I did. The CCMFOA were talking about a code enforcement position. They had a couple of like duties that they sent out for like pretty prairie and other things. So I don't know if we need to update the job description sort of thing, but I printed these out so you guys kind of look over. Because I think ours is pretty comprehensive. That's fine. I like that one.
Code enforcement.
Some more.
Oh, that's right, code enforcement. I was thinking Jeff's position. We don't have a code enforcement job description. So just knowing exactly what you guys want them to do.
So
would be
this is what
nice.
the Curtis Wheeler she was talking about.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to fill in some
So-
gaps here and there. Sorry.
You're fine. Wheeler, he is the code enforcement officer in Atchison. And so we were thinking hiring him to kind of to do our code enforcement. So it's consistent and then they're not coming back on Jeff and griping and complaining to him. And somebody kind of
No.
removes.
I like that idea.
And he also does it for them, so he kind of knows.
He's done it for.
So when they do,
Yeah.
so the code enforcement, like right now, we don't do anything, correct?
Well, Jeff he would go around and he would send out letters, but you have to like do them very consistently because there's time stamps on them. So like you have what,
Time sequence.
10 days to do something or whatever. The 10 days or 30 days?
30-day notice and then a 10
10
day
day. Okay.
and then something after that.
Yeah.
So some of those were sent out but then never followed up on. Is that what happened?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't really any penalty.
That's what I was wondering because
couldn't
I'm still
really
seeing
couldn't
things.
enforce any kind of penalty if they didn't do it.
Because I knew there was some that had been not some had notifications had gone out, but I was still noticing things haven't
Right.
changed.
Right.
So that's the reason I was asking
Mhm.
because I still got the same old mess and so on.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's several of them. I mean, on one road, just driving down two streets, I counted 10.
So when you're saying like code enforcement, we're talking like lawn, like mowing your lawn,
Yes.
junk in your yard,
Dogs,
Animals.
dogs roaming.
Yep.
Okay.
fowl, chickens.
Are we not? Oh, you're not allowed to have chickens.
You can have chickens. But
Oh,
Yeah.
we have certain people that have
are we having problems with somebody with
a mass.
Well, they need to
Okay.
be
chickens? With that.
safe environment, like
Needs to be a
Yeah.
safe and humane environment.
Boots up.
yes,
Not free range.
you're not.
No, you can't free range.
You can't free range.
That's what I'm saying. Not free range.
I mean, the fox like it if you do. But.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
So we're gonna wait till we hear from Curtis Wheeler then.
Yeah. And it sounded like Katie was going to contact him. So.
Pool employees.
Kind of
We already got
that covered today.
Update on transfer to Central Square. I think I've got on there. I'm gonna call Jake about QuickBooks.
Mhm.
That'll cover that one. That we can
Perfect.
get. And Campay, we've already talked about that one. New business city website.
Ordinances.
Ordinance.
So this is
Oh yeah, what day can? Never mind. Yeah.
the 21st of this month.
Yay.
I read your mind. On the website, I've seen it different ways with like Horton or Valley Falls. If you go to their ordinances, everybody does it differently. Do you want on the website basically like the ordinance book where it's by chapter, or do you want the ordinance itself, ordinance 2025-01, just the ordinance is posted on the websites?
Like Valley Falls. Have you seen theirs?
I believe so. Theirs is like the
Like it's all electronic.
Mhm.
Like the handbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how can you get that all electronic without retyping it all?
yeah.
You can probably scan them
Scan
in.
'em in.
Well, no, it's like
I think they had they went through a company.
to do that
Yes.
because it is very nice. It is very easy. Like you can search.
That's nice.
Like yeah.
Yeah. It's called codification, and there are companies that you can do it.
Yeah.
Because they'll do it well.
And I think Hortons is like that too. Maybe Hortons is very nice too. I think.
So I've seen it both ways. If we want to put them on like the ordinance book, which is the closest I could get, I could upload PDFs of like chapter 1, chapter 2, whatever it may be. I could do the oldest ones that we have not changed, and then hold off on doing the ones that the council is thinking about changing.
Okay, well, we have
makes
two that we
sense.
changed, right? That we were supposed to be on there. The water one.
Water, sewer,
Water
nuisances.
Sewer's not Sewer's not done yet. We're not done with that one yet.
Oh, okay, because yeah.
So we got the chapter 1, and then we got water. Those are the ones that we've changed. Am I right?
Chapter 1 would be administration.
Right. We changed that. We did a new one on that. Where we put
From
in
the-
about from the red book. Yeah, because we changed it and it's $25 for the commission.
Is that what the ordinances currently say in your book?
I don't know. I didn't bring mine. I think the one in there says 10, but we had it changed, but we said we put it on hold until we got the website up.
Gotcha.
And then we did
Okay.
the same thing on water. We got it changed,
Yep.
and then we were gonna wait until we got the charter ordinance where it was, that we were able to put it on our website and didn't have to publish it.
Yep.
We are past that now.
Okay, so now we can.
21st.
Huh?
I thought it was the 21st.
I thought it was April 21st.
Am I a
We
month
have-
behind?
well, we discussed it.
I thought it was April 21st.
Well, we had, what was the publication date? I'm pretty sure we're past it.
Okay.
So then we can put that on there, but those are the only two that we've actually changed.
Gotcha. But we're working on the sewer and nuisances
Right.
as well. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So I can go through and update not post the ones that we are changing and post the ones we have not touched yet.
Yes.
Okay.
The ones we've changed and the ones we have not touched yet.
Perfect.
And then leave out the ones we have. But go ahead and, like on chapter, I think the sewer is what, chapter 7 or something like that?
I think so.
Then just leave that what we did.
Mhm.
And then once we change it, we can go in and put it on.
Okay. Perfect.
I mean,
So,
I don't know, that's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
so they used a company, you said? Or like
I
a
believe
program
so,
plan?
yeah.
Cause that would be so nice. It would be so handy, like when we're
It's
sitting
not
in,
cheap though.
I know, but like when we're sitting in a meeting, like, we could search it right there.
We're
and-
talking $20,000 to get that done, at least
Really?
10 to 15.
Oh, yeah,
That's a lot.
that's a lot.
Yeah, I would put money on it for at least 10.
I would say probably around 10.
But even if this was like you can still do a search in even if it's in a Word or Adobe format.
So, Jesse, our ordinances are
Horrible.
Not messy.
there's like
Horrible.
15
That's all of
different
them, right there.
versions. I mean, like for
15 different versions.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like we had to like find a version and
Put it together.
just use it because they're a mess.
They're a mess.
That's why we're having the second meetings every month.
Yeah, to clean
To
them up.
clean these
So
out.
we've only got 2 cleaned up. We got
Like some things were getting changed in the ordinances, some things weren't. Like
Some were being published, some were not.
yeah, but they're a mess.
Yeah. If you don't like an ordinance, I can show you 3 different copies of the same ordinance.
So really,
Yeah.
I could fight you on some stuff, couldn't you?
Yeah.
it's not pretty. Okay, so we can actually go ahead then and put it on because we've got that charter ordinance has been published and
Mhm.
done good.
So once we have the next ordinance meeting, I plan on bringing all the ones Pat has sent that we can now adopt, put onto the website, and free of charge
Okay.
begin to use those.
Yep, that'll work.
Yep.
Like we have different fonts, different font sizes.
Well, that's just like it looked kind of.
It might be my OCD, but that bothers me.
No,
I
well, it
know.
needs to look
It
professional.
needs
It
to look
does not look
professional.
professional at all.
Agreed.
Nothing does. We're off of that one. Maintenance X fit personal phones for city business.
Maintain X was something that was brought up with Wes. It's for tracking work orders for the city superintendent.
Oh yeah.
I think we need. I think we need to do something like that because
So it's
we
like,
need to have some way of tracking what's being done.
it's a ticket system, so like somebody could come in and like say like, hey, I have an issue. Adam could issue a ticket through maintenance X or whatever it is.
So like say I might have a water pressure issue.
Yeah.
I call Adam and say, hey, I have a water pressure issue.
He puts it in, sends it, and then
Superintendent gets it.
can go in and be like, that done.
Is it
whatever.
through a phone? It's through the phone. So like a text or
So it's immediate response.
Yeah, and it's free.
It is a free app.
Free
Yeah.
app?
Yeah.
That's even better.
What I talked to Katie about is getting the office its own cell phone, just the
Mhm.
office. It doesn't leave that office. And then we can hook the cameras at the brush or at the dump
Yeah.
directly to that because right now it's
These
just to her
cameras?
phone.
These cameras out here.
Yep. And then so the office would have, and then hook like a mayor email to all of that. So the next mayor would just plug in,
I like that.
and we can change the password, give them that phone, say on office, but
Right.
yeah.
Access to the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the only expense that we're gonna have is phones.
Just one.
Just one.
You just need one phone.
They'll share one. It'll be office.
Because the city superintendent gets reimbursed for their phone usage.
Oh, okay.
Would it be more beneficial to get just a tablet instead of the phone? Would it work on a tablet? And then you just have expense for one tablet.
Yeah, we currently have a tablet for the city superintendent.
For you guys.
For you guys.
Yeah.
Does it have to be on a phone or can it be through a tablet?
Because of
Yeah.
the app.
Download the app
It
on a
needs a
tablet.
phone number. When I went to sign up, I tried to use the phone number for the office and it said it had to be a cellular device.
So it could be a tablet that has a cellular plan, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be a better option than a phone.
Yeah.
I don't know
I don't know.
what the price difference are. But it might be better.
I don't know.
I mean, you'd be able to see more clear pictures on
Yes.
cameras.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, it'd probably be cheaper to buy an initial tablet, but a plan on, I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
We need to do something though, because I mean, that gives some accountability too. I mean, and it shows us the listing of what's being done.
Mhm.
Because I mean, before I tell you, we didn't know what was being done.
And-
I mean, nobody knew.
Yeah.
So that's why, I mean.
Especially with us going in and hiring a new city.
Yeah, we need to
superintendent
have
very
it set up
soon.
right.
Yeah, and then, I mean, this is something like, yeah, I think it would be, to do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because,
I like the idea of it because I use sticky notes, but it's not a perfect system. So this I could just get off the phone, directly put it in.
Yeah, it takes pressure off of you, plus then it also takes pressure off the superintendent, because now they've got all these job tickets and they know which one they can prioritize, which ones need to be done. Go in and get the priority done and then come back and pick
And
the
then you
other
can
ones
be like, did I send that to him or not? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
It could just be
Yeah.
and just no track.
Or I didn't ever get that. Really? Something that already.
Okay,
And I don't, yeah, so would you like to, you and Katie are gonna look into
A
tablet
tablet
phone,
for the
whatever.
office, if we can have a cell plan with it, whatever.
Yeah. Data plan.
yeah.
Yeah. We also talked, Katie and I, about um seeing what internet we can get for the office. Because currently we're connected through a cable. We don't have wireless for the office.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Cheryl, that's your alley.
Yeah, you can get wireless.
Yeah. But the computers are also not, they need a wireless
You can get
card and stuff like that. Okay. So that's something we're looking into.
Wireless routers have Ethernet ports that you can plug into.
That's something we're looking into, but we also talked about maybe having somebody for IT, because I can do a lot of things, but I can't do IT. And so like our computers, the camera system went down when Jeff left. He deleted his account, which deleted the master account for the
Oh,
cameras.
that wasn't good. That wasn't good.
Kathy, doesn't your son do IT stuff?
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, would he be interested in being our IT guy?
Yeah, it's about, I think he said the going rate's like $250 an hour, so.
So, but I was able to get the camera system back up and running and everything.
$2.50. Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
quite.
You were able to get up and
That's our
Yeah,
deal. He'll
so-
give us the deal for $2.50.
Yeah.
So everything is currently working.
He would help us though if we need to.
You know, even just like sometimes I wonder about like how secure is our computers? Like
Our
how
server?
secure is our,
That question is
Yeah.
often one across my mind.
you know,
Well, and then
Yeah.
Justin said that did he pay it out of his own pocket to have the,
city of Effingham.
Yeah. or did he pay it for the city?
He originally, okay, long story short, he ended up paying, it didn't work, Then I got the .gov. It has nothing to do with,
What he did.
yes.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Thank you.
good. We're-
I like that.
So I was worried about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So the .gov is all through the Microsoft one, which is the $48 a month or something.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. So, and then not Central Square, Civic Plus, our website hosts the domain. So they're in control of that domain as well. So our emails and everything, it's just all,
So what we gotta do to get pictures up for out here?
for the trail camera,
No, for the.
for the cameras,
Mhm.
they have, I
You have
can
access to it.
If I have access to it.
Okay. I just wanna make sure we have access because, you know,
I-
we got the problem over here with this
Yeah.
little thing, and then up at the blue building, we've had some issues in the past, so.
I had to contact Scott for a link and a download and stuff, but we
It's
got it
been working. Perfect.
We also talked about getting another trail cam out there for the dump too.
Yeah, I found them.
Oh yeah, it's the next one, sorry.
Mhm.
Monday, June 2nd, 12 p.m. is the deadline to file as a candidate for all municipal offices. So,
That's just good information.
just a heads up.
If you want to do this again the next 2 years.
What is it, $25 filing fee or something?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
$25.
Yeah. City superintendent applications, we've already discussed that one.
And then the cameras at the brush now. We're getting another one that maybe moving the ones closer because they're quite blurry and hard to see. And then getting another one that kind of provides more of an overview of what's going on inside the dump.
Okay.
So we'll talk
Um,
to Katie, see if we can get quotes.
okay.
And even like, I think she went down and got the SIM card out of the one, you know, if she can see what kind of trail cam it is, just get another one of the same, you know, if it's connected.
Did we find out who that was?
Oh, we did, okay.
Did they?
We
They're
did.
not out there now. I know.
No, it's no longer out there. That's all.
We had it hauled off, or somebody else picked it up.
Somebody else picked it up, or the person who
Who dumped it?
presumably picked it up. We have no information.
The
But
third
it's
party,
in there.
like maybe the.
I know they drove past my house.
After they picked it up?
Mitch saw them with the freezers in the back.
Okay.
Good deal. Cool. Good. Good. People understand that we need to crack down on that. So, I have one thing. Back 3 months ago, I had asked Jeff to call approved paving about the streets. Seabury over there between 9th and 10th, and then Howard up here. I just went over there the other day and went to hit those.
Also, like our street is George's torn
Yeah,
up.
George,
It's got
that's
that
spot on
major
George.
hole in it.
I called approved paving and left a message for Phil twice. I called him Friday and then I called him on Monday. Have not got an answer. So I will call him again and leave another message. So, because we need to get some kind of quote on that. So,
Do you want Adam to try to, or?
Aren't
yeah.
they gonna fix the street up by the elementary school? That little-
No,
The approach?
The little,
he said something about it was they couldn't do anything to it or something.
The
That's
approach or whatever?
That's the last I heard. So, but yeah, the one on George needs to be fixed because all he did was dump gravel.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was too.
I received an email from the community junior, senior high. I can't remember who sent it out, but I told her, as with everything, I have to run it by the council to get approval for donations. Things like that.
is that to the Lions Club?
It's addressed to the Lions Club.
Yeah, they sent it in an email
To anybody.
to the office.
So really, I think this needs to go to Lions Club.
Yeah. That's a Lions Club thing.
Yeah, it's a Lions Club thing.
We don't, as a general policy, we don't donate to anybody. We can't pick and choose.
Another thing I got to talk on something else that came up. I don't know if y'all know, but they're talking about closing the senior center up here. And there was a push to see if we can get somebody to pick up like the gas bill and the electric bill. I was approached by some people and said, well, would the city of Effingham be willing to pick up their water and sewer bill, which is about $81 a month. So I wanted to bring it up to you guys and see what you thought.
Personally, I feel like if that can help them,
I'm all for it.
$80,
too.
$81 a month.
I agree.
Is it the only, it's a nonprofit,
It's a
right?
nonprofit that is funded partially by Atchison County. The majority of their money comes from Atchison County.
Do we have any other nonprofits in town?
Not that I'm,
Not I'm aware of.
churches.
My only,
Churches, yeah, I guess churches at the end.
my only question would be if we do it for one, we have to do it for others, right? But if there's not another one in town, then we don't have to do it.
Every church.
Church.
Yeah.
Every church is a nonprofit.
Yeah, we've got 2 churches in town. So I mean, I don't. It was
I
just
agree
brought up.
sometimes
It was
that
brought up
now.
to me.
I feel like if it comes down to that and they need something that we can help with, like I'd be more than happy.
Well, I'm
to-
going. There's a meeting. They're supposed to decide if they're going to keep it open on June 4th. I
And
don't
you're
know
going
why
to-
June 4th because the Atchison County they didn't have their budget set until July. And my thought on it was, why don't they just wait and have that meeting in August or September? Because their fiscal year doesn't start until October. So, and this is for 2026 that they're talking about. So we've been told 2 things from Atchison is that there was no money, and now we're hearing that there's like maybe $95,000, but it's not committed yet. So they're just trying to trying to help however they can, because down there at the city of Atchison pays for the building and Atchison pays for the utilities. Up here, Project Concern owns that building. So they were saying, well, if we could get somebody to pick up on the utilities, then that's that much money that we don't have to spend out. I just wanted to bring it up to you guys. We don't need to lose that.
I don't want to listen.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't think we should pick up any other than the water. Like, I don't think we should pick up the gas or the.
No,
No,
they were going to talk to the Lions Club and they were going to talk to somebody else about the Lions Club pick up one and then somebody else pick up the electric or gas. Flip them. So, but I will let them know that, if it comes to that, then the city would look at doing that. So, I'll let them know.
Okay.
Has anybody got anything else? Comments, concerns?
Adam, you'll let us know if we get interviews set up for Friday evening, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And then our next meeting isn't till the
Second to
Yeah,
Wednesday,
in
June.
June.
June 11th.
11.
I move that we adjourn.
I second.
Anybody approve? Oh, no. All in agreement?
Aye.
Hi. Hi.